Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Saturday morning, June 28th, and this video will just be on my personal trades. We won't be covering anything YieldMax did today. So a quick update on the page. We hit the goal, so thank you guys. Broke the 1,000 subscriber mark. So with every met goal comes a new goal. So the next goal is 4,000 watch time hours. This is a little bit delayed as of June 23rd. I don't know why they are always behind a few days. So I think it's closer to 2,500 public watch hours, but I've got to get to 4,000 as the second part of the eligibility before you can start being monetized on YouTube. So that's the new goal, 4,000 watch hours. Reminder, I'm on X. I'll let you know when videos are coming out and update you on YieldMax declarations. Okay, at ETF_Inspector1. So let's look at my trades. I had another rough week. If you watched last week, basically the same thing did me in. And then I also had a little bit of hiccup in my trading. I don't know if you guys watched my video yesterday, but I was in a car accident on the way home. I got rear-ended on I-95, so that kind of threw my day into a spiral. Ended up going to urgent care. I'm okay, but it happened around 2, and it was well after 4 closing time before I even noticed what time it was. So I did not get to sell the options that I was planning on selling, which could have helped me do a little bit better. But so let's go into the updates. I have 2 poor man's covered calls, which is the combination of buying a leap, which this one is SoFi, and I bought a $5 leap back in April, and now I'm selling calls off of that, out of the money. The point is to basically generate income selling calls without having to have put up all the front money of buying the shares at full price, because I bought the leap. So no trades this week, so this is just a quick update. SoFi's going up a lot, so these are way in the money. I may end up having to just let this get assigned and be done with it. So I have an August 1st $15 strike currently that I sold for $1.46 per share. But with them up at 17, this could easily get assigned. I'm not going to roll again and roll the rest of the year away. So either the stock price is going to come back down or I'm going to get assigned. But at the end of the day, if I do, I still make a decent profit because the money collected along the way combined with the upfront cost. My upfront cost is $591. So if these shares got assigned at 15, I'd collect $1,500, but I would have to actually buy the shares, but I get to buy them for $5 or $500, so it'd be another $1,000 profit. So I'd make a profit, it'd be fine, but at the same time it would be nice if I could continue to sell calls, making the profit all the way to 2027. Same thing as far as Intel. They are not in the money, but they're getting close. I didn't do any moves this week. These are just a 1 month out because they did not go against me. So collected 40 cents per share, 100 shares per contract. So far, I originally bought the leap for 15, or at 15. I paid $8.95. I have whittled that down to $7.59. And again, if these got assigned, I would have to sell them for $23, but I would get to buy them for $15. So that's an $800 difference versus $7.59. So it wouldn't be very much profit right now. So we'll just need to keep on going, selling these. Okay, those were no moves. That was just a quick update. This spread is what got me. So if you saw last week, I got beat up on a call spread on Circle as they were running through the roof. So then I decided, okay, I'm not selling calls on them anymore. They just seem to be a rocket. I'll sell a put way out of the money. So I sold this put almost 13% out of the money. It's a put spread. So I sold it $247.50 and I bought it $250. So I was a little smarter. I made it a $2.50 spread rather than a $5, limiting my loss to $250 rather than $500. I collected $1.05, so that's $105. But it went against me. If you saw a circle, just as fast as they went up, they came down. So I had to close this out. I actually didn't lose the maximum. I got to close it out for 243 rather than 250. But overall, it was a loss of $140. So me, as far as spreads, I don't do well. I gotta learn to stay away from them. All right, now I have a handful of wheels. I'll just go in alphabetical order. So I closed last week. So sold a cash secured put last week for 21, expiring this past Friday. I collected 62 cents a share. I closed it for 4 cents a share. So that was a nice win, and I went ahead and just opened one for next week. Didn't get as much, but next week's only a 3.5 day trading week because of the holiday. So I only got 28 cents, but I also rolled down to 20.50, so I came down a little. Stocks closed on Friday at 21.37, so currently not looking like they'll get assigned. No big deal if they do. I'll just switch over to selling calls. So far, I have not been assigned any BITO. I've only been selling cash secured puts, and I have brought in $126 on that. That just started May 23rd. Next, we have Webull. Stock ticker is Bull. Same thing. I've only been selling cash secured puts. I have not been assigned yet. I have one from back June 12th that was rolled out to July 11th, so that's still open. It's a 10.50. The stock's at 10.83. But in the meantime, I had one expiring this past Friday. It was a $10 strike. I collected 17 cents opening it, and I closed it for 4 cents. So it was a win, nothing major. And I went ahead and started one. I went ahead and made this other put to match the expiration date of the original. Since next week's such a low, short amount of time, there wasn't very much premium. So I went out the following week, made it 10. So I've got 10s and 10.50s sold for 2 Fridays from now. Collected 38 cents a share, and they're close, but they're out of the money. And I have so far collected $152 selling Webull puts since May 27th. Next up is IONQ. This is my favorite one to trade. As you can see, I've been trading them since January. I have been assigned and then sold calls and then had those assigned and back to selling puts. So most recently, this week, actually on the 23rd, on Monday, I sold a 34.50, collected 31 cents. Not really what I want to be doing. The problem is originally got assigned the puts at 39 and 35 way back when. So then when I was selling calls the whole time, they eventually got assigned at 31.50. So I actually made a profit because of all the options trades in between, but just looking at things, buying at 37 and 39 and selling at 31.50, it looks like a loss. So I have to watch out for the wash sale rules, and I can't go ahead and buy them back again. I don't remember if it's 30 days, 60 days, whatever. But I can't buy them back again above 31.50 or I'll trigger a wash sale. So I have to sell, I'm selling puts above that, but they're so far out of the money that they're not collecting very much premium. So I collected 31 cents, and then I went ahead and closed that out basically 3 days later for 3 cents. So I got to keep over 90% of the money over a 3-day trade. And really, so it doesn't seem like much, but if you can make 0.8% a day, that comes out to 96% a year. So all in all, I have profited $964 trading IONQ, and that's like worst case scenario. I got assigned up in the high 30s, and that stock ran all the way down under 20. So even in those scenarios, I still have made a profit. That's the beauty of options. So IONQ is my favorite. Mara, this is one where I lost track of time after the accident. So I had a put sold for this past Friday at $14. It was I collected 34 cents a share. I closed that out on Thursday for 3 cents. So again, got to keep more than 90% of the money. But then I was waiting to sell it again on Friday, and I never got to. Obviously, I got distracted. So missed opportunity making any money on Mara this week. So technically, it only looks like a loss this week because I collected the 34 in the previous week, and then I just spent the 3 cents to close it this week. So, but I'll go ahead and sell another 14 most likely on Monday. Next, we have TSLL. That's the double leveraged Tesla fund. I got onto this one from watching Retire on Dividends videos. I figured I'd join along. So I had a $10 put that was expiring this past Friday. Collected 28 cents for it. I was able to close it on Monday for 2 cents. So got to keep well over 90%. And there was still almost a whole week's worth of time value left. Then I did sell an $11, so I'm kind of chasing it up. Not my favorite thing to do, but I was okay with it. So I got a July 3rd $11 cash secure put. I sold on Thursday, collected 24 cents a share, or roughly $24. I don't sit here and talk to you about the fees every time. One thing I have been trying to do, though, if you'll notice, I don't always roll, because if I roll, I'm going to pay 68 cents per contract, and if I close it myself, I only pay 3 cents per contract. So I know that's not much, but percentage-wise, I'd rather make a higher percentage. So if I have the opportunity to close rather than roll at a price I like, I'll do that. And that's generally always going to be the 90% rule. I'll set a buy to close at 10% of the cost that I paid, or that I received, the credit that I received. So TSLL is another one. I still have not been assigned on them, so I have collected $216 trading puts on them this year. All right, that's through all the wheels, and that's all the options. So now, I gotta make this bigger. So now the last thing is just talk about the dividends within the fund. So I have Yield Max, or YMAX, Ulti, Misty, Nefli, AMZ, Aptly. Those are the 6 dividend payers, or I don't know if it's technically called a dividend. It's a distribution from them. But these other ones are still on there just because I've collected money in the past, but I've sold out of them. So these are the 6 that I have that I'm collecting money on. I also have LFGY and PLTY, but they're in my 401k, so I don't really include that in this. That money's not available forever. So you can see my shares, my cost basis. So I have a great cost basis on some of these. Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't like Ulti because they got in before they went weekly and after they lost a lot. But I've got a nice cost basis. I haven't been able to buy shares the last 2 weeks, though, because the stock's been sitting up, or the fund's been sitting above my cost basis. And my rule is I want to use the distributions to buy my average down. So now that we're at the end of the month, all these numbers are pretty much finalized. We won't be getting another distribution before the month ends. So for YMAX for the month, collected 134, Ulti 149, Misty 147, Nefli 45, AMZ 59, and Aptly 31. There will be the cash in the fund will get some small amount, $5, $10, $15. But overall, collected $567 in distributions this month, and for the year, I'm up to just under $1,900. Looking at all those trades that I talked about, totaled up, I lost $65 trading this week. Again, I forgot to make 2 trades that would have brought in some money. I don't know if it would have done anything, but lesson learned is I need to leave Circle Internet Group alone on spreads so I can stop having losses. Dividends for this week alone, I brought in 115, and those came from Nefli paying the $45 per share, or the $45 per share. YMAX paying me $32.82 for my shares, and Ulti paying me $37.47 for my shares. All right, that's everything. That's my trades. Obviously, I did not have a good week trading, but this is doing well. Let's do a real quick. Let's see. Equals this divided by that. So my investments here are bringing in about 4.5% per month, just on the stuff that's getting left alone. So that's not bad. 4.5% a month. I mean, some things promise you 4% a year. So nothing special, nothing great, but that's everything I got. So if you watch the other videos, made a little bit of change. I'm only going to do a once a week on those individual income funds. So it'll just show you how they performed in the previous week, and then let you know how you're set up for the next week, and guesstimates for the distributions based on which group is paying in the upcoming week. So I've also had people asking me to add more on. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. So. Okay, I appreciate you guys watching. Obviously, this isn't the normal stuff you tune in for, but if you like it, great. You can make fun of me, tell me how dumb my trades were. That doesn't bother me. I like to talk about trades, so if you want to talk to me about trades you made, that's cool too. All right. Dad joke of the day. This one's not great, just like my trading wasn't great this week. What did one wall say to the other? I'll meet you at the corner. Okay. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I've got a couple more videos coming for you. So that'll be it. Bye.